Hey, good morning. It's 5amMesterScrum. Hope you're all doing well today. It's Thursday. The week's almost over. Yay! Anyway, I'm a little crazy this morning. Reading some stuff, hanging out. The cats here, crazy people. This 5amMesterScrum. We talk about Agile and Scrum in a practical and tactical way and cover some points to help you get to your goals and missions a little quicker and easier and free up time and to do it without so much stress in the world, right? And basically have some fun. So, with that, we'll talk about what the topics are for today. Just browse around LinkedIn a little bit. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. We don't sell anything here, so every once in a while we'll tell you about a discount for some of my local buddies. I usually do that with my own LinkedIn account. Anyhow, so Scrum and Agile talks for the day. And why I had my little engineer hat on, right? Because I did that class over the weekend, and one of the things I told us, I gotta tell not so so many stories. Don't say so many stories on my classes. But however, I had one group I coached, and I want to talk about being consistent, right? We're talking about being consistent, and then there was an article from the Harvard Business Review that I had shared on our site the other day, and we'll talk about that article also. So, being consistent. When you coach teams, you want to be really core, right? It's about the core of coaching, and then there's always little things to help them be more specific in what they do. Like if you get my core is not to overcommit, so that gives you a good basis to getting your work done and accelerating. And that's pretty consistent about me. And that's one of the big things I harp on with a lot of teams. It's just the overcommitment. This blows everything up, right? So I had teams and everything from overcommitment, how things would operate, very very core, and you hear that in the messages. It got to the point where I teach and coach in such a way and mentor that I'm very consistent in how I do it in the multiple ways, just like a salesperson, right? Hear it 3 times, you remember it. So the way why I coach is to hear it 3 times, or actually multiple times, and you sooner or later you'll get it and you'll remember it. I actually got to the point where one team, I get a little engineering hat here from when we do the trains, would say, okay, and because they knew they were doing something wrong or they was going off track. And they would actually literally say, okay, let me put my Greg hat on, or what would Greg say in the conversation? So it was a compliment to me as a coach that they actually realized where they were going. And then they'll actually say, okay, Greg's not here, so I want to put the Greg hat on and kind of bring this back to where we should be. And it was really a nice compliment. And you get these wins sometimes as a coach, and that's like one of those core wins where you're not there anymore, and they actually tell you in the next day when you see them, oh, by the way, at daily scrum, I had to put my Greg hat on, or during sprint planning, or story refinement session. And I heard from multiple people, yeah, I put my Greg hat on, and kind of said, what would Greg tell us to do? And they did that, and they brought them back to the center so they can progress in what they're doing. That is gold for Agile coaches. All this other stuff we do, but if they say, what would Greg say? Means you really hit a trigger, and they realize that what they're doing is not efficient and wasting their time, right? At least for me, because they all know me is about wasting your time. And I want you to go home to your family and friends, right? And have some good and enjoy life and not be stressing about work, right? So I just want to talk about that. Just being consistent when you do coach and you scrum master, don't be all over the place. If it's one thing, just be there. As you learn and get better, and if you need to adapt, then you adapt. But you explain to them why and what's going on. But the biggest thing is just be consistent. So that's item one. The other one is the HBR article, and it was about not getting to being over. It just had some things to it that were different. And one of the comments was, we're not as productive, is when you think chain is an all or nothing way of working. And I totally agree. Where you don't feel like you don't get accomplishment, where they say, hey, if I don't get it all done, I get nothing, right? And Agile Scrum, we really, and it's funny, they wrote that article and they probably didn't even think about Agile Scrum because they had no idea. But that's what we do, right? We doing what we do in the show will get you used to change. Doing Agile and Scrum correctly will get you in the habit of changing small victories, getting pieces out there, getting feedback. And it just collecting those easy wins in a 2-week sprint or a smaller sprint helps you keep that momentum and that energy and drive moving. And I just want to mention, it's just funny how these research studies and all, and I don't think they know anything about Agile or Scrum, and they just go walking right into the process of where we say breaking things down to smaller bits so that you can get feedback loops in and see how you did before you move on. Or if you just, because the other way is if you don't want to put anything out until it's perfected, one, the competition might blow you away, and two, it just may be called old hat soon enough. And three, you spend thousands and millions of dollars investment in doing something, you put it out there, and it flops, right? So that's saving the company money. So what we do here is we try to help you do that. So just keep trying to help the team make a smaller and smaller business value at a little segment. And I try to do that every day. Just the other day I was trying to, before I go all crazy on building these dashboards for the one company I have, I'm like, here's some metrics you can use. I need feedback as to whether or not this is what you want before I go spending a lot of time making all the colors stay in the right way and it always be consistent in the way it's viewed. Right now it's just rolling out of the box, and when things roll out of the box, it's all over the place, right? So, I want to get that feedback before I go spend a lot of time doing it and why they're thinking about it. I'm going to go do other things. But I said, here's something to look at. And hopefully they'll give me feedback. But with that, probably going to make it early. I will say the other day, I did apply. It came out really nice. The elevator speech, and I will do the article maybe tomorrow, Friday, or this weekend on what I did with the elevator speech. I actually, when I write a Agile Coaches Corner, like weekly, just a simple, non-formal email. I mean, some people want it really formal. To me, it's just coming from me, very informal. Highlight a couple points that's going on from our Agile transformation and different topics that trying to move the needle on and try to focus it. But one thing is funny, all my stuff is related. If I do my Agile playbook, do my metrics, do my letters, do my communication, do my coaching, they're all connected. They're very consistent. I say the same thing in all different forms of media, right? That I hand out to the people I coach. So that way they go, where is it? Oh, it's all tied to the playbook. So it just does this big circle. Anyway, with that, it is 8:39 into the show. This was episode 122. Just keep it small. It's a Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday, so I do have some fortune cookies. I found a couple, so we'll do fortune cookie Friday tomorrow. And I hope you have an awesome day today. Enjoy your day and just have some fun. Hopefully, you get to go out and do some fun things this weekend with your family and friends, and relax a little bit and enjoy and grow. With that, as Eddie would say, ring the little bell so you can get emails or messages, and give us a thumbs up, share if you don't mind. And you have a great, awesome day. Happy scrumming. Take care. Bye. See ya.